Let's make an amazing coconut orange tray bake together. Welcome back to my channel, bakers. It's Angela from Bake Angel, and today I'm bringing you another one of my favorite dairy-free tray bake cakes. Now this one is such a simple one, and it is perfect for summer as well, with that combination of coconut and orange which goes so well together. You can see here I've started by adding 250 grams of self-raising flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and then 250 grams of my unsalted plant-based butter to my mixing bowl. Now I'm going to combine that with a hand mixer because this really doesn't need a stand mixer. If you have one, you could by all means use it, but this cake mix actually comes together really quickly, doesn't have a lot of ingredients either, so I find it's easy to do it with my hand mixer instead. Now that that is starting to be combined, we can add some more ingredients. That's 250 grams of white sugar, and then also we're going to add 100 grams of shredded coconut. Now it's up to you what type of coconut you use. I like the shredded one because it actually gives a really nice texture to the cake. If you want something a little bit finer, you could grind it up in your food processor, but I do not recommend that you use flaked coconut for this because it will actually be just a little bit too bitty in the cake. Now once that's all combined with your mixer, we're then going to go ahead and add our orange juice. So I'm adding 250 ml of a no pulp juice. You can use the pulp one though if you prefer. And then our 2 eggs. Now this is going to give the richness, the colour, and also the flavour to our cake as well. The orange juice just pops so nicely in this cake, and as I said earlier, it really complements that coconut and is the perfect cake to eat on a warm summer's evening, or even with afternoon tea as well. Now you'll notice here that it looks like quite a wet mixture, but don't worry about it. This is actually the perfect consistency that we want to give us that nice, light and fluffy cake. Once everything is combined, I'm quickly going to grease my tray bake, which is a 9 by 13 inch pan. I'm just adding some of my plant-based butter to it. Then I'm going to line the bottom with an oversized piece of parchment paper. You can see it just goes up the side a little bit here, and that's all I need it to do. That will actually make it easier for us to get the cake out of the pan once it is baked. Now I'm going to go ahead and spread all of that lovely ingredients into the tray, and using a silicone spatula I'm just going around the edges to make sure we get into all of those corners, and also to make sure that the cake mix is spread out evenly as well. You do want to make sure whenever you're adding a lot of batter to a pan that it is even, so that it will actually bake evenly too. Give it a tap on the counter a few times. Then we can go ahead and bake it at 325 degrees for 35 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven, it's going to look like this. Look how beautiful that is. It is lovely and golden, nice and firm to the touch as well, and it smells amazing. So whilst that cake cools down, we can go ahead now and make our glaze for the top of it, which is just 150 grams of icing sugar, and then 2 tablespoons or 30 ml of your orange juice. Now as you can see here, I don't add all of that liquid in at once because sometimes you may find, depending on the humidity in your kitchen, you might need a little bit less or sometimes even a little bit more if it is drier in your kitchen when you make this. What I suggest you do is kind of eyeball it until you get this consistency. It should just lightly drop off of the spoon, as you can see here, form a nice little ribbon as well, which means that it will flow nicely over the top of our cake when we ice it. So 2 things here. Now, first of all, I should have removed the cake from the pan before I iced it, but if you are too eager to do it like I was, it really doesn't matter if you do it in the pan. All you need to do though is just pop that cake out of the pan once it's cool, and then pop it on a cooling tray, and once it has cooled down, go ahead and spread your glaze on it. It is such a nice glaze. This glaze would actually be really great on cookies. It would be great on cupcakes as well, and it does pair perfectly with the coconut and the orange in this particular tray bake. So I'm just using my offset spatula here to spread it all across the cake. If you wanted to jazz it up a little bit more, you could add some zested orange rind on it as well. You could add some sprinkles too if this was a special birthday cake that you were making, but I think it looks great as it is. And once that's set, we're just gonna cut it up into pieces and show you what it looks like inside. Look at that color. That crumb is amazing. It is so nice and soft, and I really can't wait to dig in and eat this. I hope you've enjoyed watching this bake along. Make sure you check out the link in the description below for the full recipe on my website, which also includes the cup measurements for this recipe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, share with your friends, and of course I would love to hear what you think of this recipe in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy baking!